dancing for a lot of us is just like a way to sort of get away from everyday life. My hips are more flexible than I initially thought. So I'm Nils. I'm 23 years old. Just finished my studies in economics. So I've been studying here in Stockholm for 4 years essentially. Discovered iDance quite recently, so it's been a part of my life from August last year. And now I'm working for a startup here in Stockholm, an AI startup in a commercial position there. The reason, it was a bit of a fluke in my case actually. So my older brother signed up for an iDance course last year. I was super excited about that, but then the whole organization shut down due to COVID. So he traveled to visit his girlfriend in Georgia. So when the classes picked up again, he was unavailable. So he said to me like, yeah, like you should try this out. Like it sounds super cool and everything. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I attended the class in his spot, and yeah, here I am 1 year later. Not too many doubts and fears, to be honest. Like I always enjoyed dancing, even though I haven't done it in a very sort of organized fashion previously. But maybe the difficulty, like to what extent I as like how I am would fit in that crowd, in that community. But I've never like felt out of place or anything like that after having started. So just positives from my side. Not too many doubts or fears. I just went into it basically. No regrets. So today, when I go dancing, it feels great. Just great emotions. Like I'm always, we've discussed this previously with other like people in the class, that dancing for a lot of us is just like a way to sort of get away from everyday life, like regardless of how your feelings are at that moment in time, they just stop existing essentially, and you walk out on the floor and do your thing, like have your classes, have a really good time, and it's all about like good emotions and good vibes. So a lot of positive energy and great feelings linked to that. So what makes iDance special to me? To be honest, I haven't like been around too much at different places like Salsa and Bachata places in Stockholm, but I've heard from other people that it's a bit different. So I guess the sort of unique selling point of iDance would be the sort of familiar setting where it's quite small, like everybody knows each other. It feels like it's more like a family than this sort of classic, you have the teachers and the students and it's super like stiff and professional or whatever. It's more like one big family that does a lot of stuff together, even outside of classes, right? So we have like picnics during summers and they organize all kinds of stuff, and you feel like super included, super welcomed, regardless of your background or whatever essentially. So it's become a bit of a second home for me, and I think that goes for the whole bunch of us. Best thing that has happened to me as a result of starting to dance, I would probably say like discovering the whole social scene that exists in Stockholm. So there is actually an opportunity to like go out and like dance with random people essentially, like in addition to classes, which is awesome. So basically discovering that, like now it's summer, so I just discovered Hultbergsstrand, for example, like going there for the first time, like having your repertoire, like your 4 or 5 moves, and you're like, I'm gonna do this and that, and then it's like a bit stiff in the beginning maybe, but then like eventually you just get into it and it's just great. Like it's a new universe opening up basically. So I would say that, like socials, like being able to connect with new people through dancing, which is just amazing. maybe my hips are more flexible than I initially thought. So I guess I've sort of like the movement of the hips can sort of be generalized in a broader sense to like how I act now. Like I feel more fluent, like freer, like more sort of I don't know, chill in some sense maybe. So maybe just like the synergies from dancing, like you get a certain like you get something in terms of how you comport yourself, like your self-confidence in different types of situations. So I'd actually say that might be the sort of unexpected positive from this whole thing, for sure. The teachers at iDance are just amazing. So tying into what I said earlier about them being like super welcoming from the get-go. Like there's never been a moment where I feel that, you know, they're on a pedestal, like not able to approach or anything like that, but rather they just feel like another student in the group, like being super helpful and like being super communicative with everyone, just like a friend that you can ask whatever. And they also, you know, dance with the students. Like if we go out dancing socially, they often attend those events as well. As I said before, like picnics. So it's just like super flat, and everybody is just helpful and nice and positive. So all love to them. I would say don't even give it a second thought. Like just go for it. Like I was pretty pumped about starting out with this from the beginning, I would say. But even though you're not, like if someone is pushing you, yeah, you should really try this out, even though you feel like I'll be out of place, like this is not my thing, like I'm stiff or whatever. You should just go for it, because I've seen like it's fascinating to see like all these different kinds of people with so like with a variety of different backgrounds and limited experience to prior dancing, and then they just, you know, attend these classes and put in the effort, and then within a fairly short amount of time they're actually like super good, and it's just this 0 to 1 process that is fascinating to observe from the outside. And also in my own case, then like I developed so much for this past year that I've been dancing, and like these days it's just a very sort of natural component in my life in a broader sense, and so I'm super happy about that, and obviously like encourage anyone to go for it. So if I could go into time machine and talk to myself before I started dancing, I would probably just like, if it were the case that I had like negative thoughts about this, or like being a bit hesitant, like like maybe I should, you know, postpone it a bit or whatever, like just like kill all those thoughts, like don't even think about it, just go for it. And now with like in retrospect, it's been so great. Like I've had such a great time, so I wouldn't want to miss it for the world if I had the time to go back and like change my thinking there. I would just be like, you know, do it, like at all costs, basically. Yeah. For sure, like I have nothing bad to say about iDance. As I said, I've never been to another Salsa Bachata school, but this is, as I said before, like basically my second home now. It's a bit of a drug. Like you start out, you do salsa, and then you're like, yeah, like bachata sounds cool, and then you start doing that as well. And then all of a sudden you're enrolled in like 4 different classes simultaneously, so you're here like 4 days a week, and it's just great. Like I always go here with great emotions, and yeah, the classes always like correspond to the high expectations I have, and so it's a great school, great people, great teachers, great students, myself included. And so yeah,